So this is the third part of our series discussing healthy living choices, and today's topic we'll be discussing GMOs and pesticides. And with me today we have Carrie, who is the YouTuber Cosmic Cognition, that's spelled with two K's.
Yep.
And so can you explain to the audience what is a GMO and what is a pesticide?
So simply, GMOs are genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms are something we've had in our culture as far as an agrarian society for thousands of years. You look at maize plants, things like this, what corn has become. Corn is specifically like a great example of what a genetically modified organism can look like. We've been making GMOs for a long time, and now there's like three main focuses in particular that we focus on now, and that's crop yield, disease resistance, and drought resistance.
So Monsanto was around since Pocahontas was around, or?
Not particularly, no, I don't think so.
Okay. So, and also, could you explain why pesticides are actually the real issue and not so much as GMOs?
So pesticides are basically chemicals that help you from having there's herbicides, there's also insecticides and pesticides. Basically anything that makes it so that the isolated area that you're trying to harvest from is specifically just the plant you want and at its highest caliber level as far as growth rate. So the growth rate potential is affected by other organisms either feeding off of it or leaching land from it and taking available water resources. But the problem with pesticides is a lot of times you see that communities affected by local pesticide use or by just ingestion of any particular food that has pesticides on it are at a higher risk for having hormone problems. You see in some segments of the population there's a decline in testosterone levels and sometimes an increase in estrogen levels in males, and it can affect behavior, it can affect growth potential, things like that.
So,
and it's not just humans, by the way, it sometimes affects wildlife too.
So it seems that GMOs are really the good guys and the pesticides are the bad guys. One thing that we have noticed is that there is tons of misinformation out there. People are constantly thinking that GMOs are bad for you, or anything that's been genetically modified to increase crop yield, to better resist against drought, is somehow going to have an adverse effect on your health. Mm-hmm. And there's been numerous science organizations that have said that no, the likelihood of you developing some sort of health
related illness from GMOs
is as about the same as eating something that's a non-GMO. So there's a lot of myths and misinformation flying around there.
Another thing that I'd like to add to it is that, and I feel bad saying this because I love burritos, and their burritos in particular, but I feel like when you watch a business like Chipotle say that we have no GMOs or anything like that, I think that's really just them trying to appeal to a larger segment of the population and make sure that they get a lot of clientele, and it's kind of sad in a way.
You gotta appeal to the hipsters, man. And I like Chipotle too. I love it. It's
delicious. Chipotle, I'm not going at your throat right now, I promise.
But there are some negative aspects when it comes to GMOs, and one of those could be corporate greed. There was an E. coli outbreak that happened due to farm workers not being able to have adequate bathroom breaks, and a lot of time because there was fecal matter, there was just poop in the fields or whatever. Then you have this E. coli outbreak. Human beings are not supposed to eat poopy. It's just that's not how our bodies are supposed to work.
The other.
Yeah, it's just not the human centipede. That's but that's a sick movie. But also another thing that could be somewhat bad with GMOs is putting patents on life. Now I'm sort of 50-50 on this, because if you do billions of dollars of research to research something that could potentially lead to profits, then yeah, you deserve to make money off of it. But then if you want to I feel a little nervous doing that, because if you put a patent on some sort of breeding technique for, let's say, a cow or a chicken or whatever, then it's something that I'm not dead set on either way. It's just really a gray area for me.
You know, they're even thinking about bringing back dinosaurs, using chickens as like the stem instrument.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? They start with the chicken, they try to reintroduce a couple.
You start watching Jurassic Park.
I like Jurassic Park, and that's kind of like what they were trying to do with Jurassic Park too. You know, there's some good sci-fi out there to help you understand some things too. Exactly. They try to implement it in there.
Also, so in conclusion, one of the key things with this video, or what we're trying to get out there, is that GMOs have helped our society
immensely.
Yeah, like, you know, it's been able to better feed the population. You know, a lot of times we live on a hostile planet where, you know, due to a climate condition or weather conditions or what have you, you know, a lot of times there might be drought and you have millions of people die from starvation. But let's say if you can design a crop that is drought resistant, then you save millions of lives, and then also you can increase crop yields and, you know, things in that manner.
Isn't the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation doing something like that? Mm-hmm. Or Bill Gates and family or something like that?
You know, a lot of people, they think there's all these conspiracy theories flying around there, but, you know, their foundation, to me, it's like they're trying to better, you know, the world, or at least increase funding for scientific research so people don't die due to starvation or
things that shouldn't happen now.
Yeah, or unsafe drinking water.
And the thing is too, with Bill Gates, a lot of people say, yeah, he makes a lot of money off these things, and he does. But the truth of the matter is, when he shows you infographics and he tells you that nutrition is one of the biggest problems in Africa, and he demonstrates to you exactly how these things like boosting cassava roots' ability to yield and, you know, be retained in drought conditions, I don't understand how you can be against that.
I mean, and also too, people, they act as if anytime, if you make money on anything, then you can't have a good intention in what you're doing because you're making money off of it. I'd rather make money and help other people in the process than make money and then screw over everyone else. That's just how I feel about it. So, you have anything else to say, Carrie?
In closing, start a conversation with somebody. Let them know, you know, there's local farmer markets out there. And another thing that we think is pretty cool is the opportunity to start community gardens. That way you know what's being put in the food that you're eating. You know, when it comes to things like cattle, that would obviously be much more difficult. That requires a higher amount of space. But when it comes to things like fruits and vegetables to start with, I think that you can really start to control what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, because you're the person that goes to the field every day. It's not some distant company that's starting to put things in your food.
And you know, if you live in an apartment like we do, you don't even have to do that. You can just have a balcony or, you know, a windowsill, and just have a pot where you would you know, put some, I don't know, tomato seeds in, and you can grow it like that. I mean, there's so many ways you can grow food in the space that you have. You know, I think it's important. So that's all we gotta say. Thanks for watching. This is College Talk TV and Cosmic Cognition, and see you next time.
Bye.